And we are back, another episode of Trailers to Yachts. We'll start with our inaugural cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cole can't hear it, but that's my favorite part.
Oh no, I can hear it. Your earphones are very loud.
They're blasted. But all right. So we have as our guest today, Annie from Bite This up in Clintonville, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are, I don't know what guest number we're at.
7, 8.
7 sounds
6.
pretty good. Guest number 7.
Hell yeah.
Maybe 6.
Sure. But you want to start off telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Annie. You already said this. I'm the owner founder of Bite This by Annie. It's a bakery. That's kind of a little different, a little weird. We're the goth bakery of Columbus. And we specialize in these things called bagel bombs and biscuit bombs, which are new. They're the new kid on the block. Like grown-up gourmet hot pockets. So everything's stuffed inside of a either homemade bagel or biscuit. And then sweets too. I'm known for my brownies, cookies, sandwich cookies, pub grub, spicy and original. And that's my elevator pitch.
How long have you guys been open there at that location?
We opened at the brick and mortar in July.
Nice. It's like everyone that we bring on is like just started at the same time. It's really cool.
Yeah, because Karis and Lowe opened maybe a couple of weeks before me, I think.
Yeah, they were June or July and we were August. So,
pretty cool.
Yeah, hopping and popping year.
The small business besties.
Yep. I was going to ask something. How did you get into like the bagel bombs or biscuit bombs? I had not seen those before. I tried one the other day. I came to the shop on Valentine's Day, actually.
Yeah.
Tried the buffalo chicken one. It's fantastic.
Loved.
But I hadn't seen those anywhere else.
I think, so they exist out in the world. I can't take like full credit for inventing them. I can take credit for making them in the way that we do. So way back when, at the very beginning, I worked out of my home. My husband was deployed. And I made charcuterie boards and layer cakes for like friends and family. And that got to where I was getting referrals from people I didn't know, which like you're not supposed, I'm not going to like send myself to jail, but,
it's a gray area.
Yeah, it's a gray area. So I started looking for brick and mortar for myself then and realized those are things that like are very celebration based. So you're not going to come to me on like a random fucking Tuesday for a charcuterie board or a layer cake. So with that, went to the drawing board and said, hey, what can I make that's going to make you want to come see me for breakfast, lunch, whatever, every day of the week? And I'm from Virginia and thought immediately, I'm going to make biscuits, obviously, but everybody and their fucking mom makes a biscuit and thinks it's the best thing ever. So going off breakfast, there's a very well-known coffee company. It's quite large that used to make these teeny tiny little Bantam bagel bites. And they're like this big, that big, with maybe a teaspoon of shit inside of them. And they came in like 3 flavors. It was like original with everything bagel seasoning on it and like a berry one. And you got 3 of them and it would barely even fill you up.
For $20.
Yeah, I was going to say $19.
Right. So I'm kind of known for like taking anything and spinning it and making it fucking weird or blowing it up and just making it like super extra. So I took that idea, developed a recipe, made it 8,000 times, and the bagel bomb was born. And I started with 4 flavors. I think it was like artichoke, jalapeno, mixed berry, original, and bacon chive. Took them to my buddies. I said, would you eat this every day? And they said, absolutely. And then I put it on the internet and the Columbus foodie community just picked it up and fucking ran with it.
Wild how that happened.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really cool, actually.
Do you have one that's your favorite?
Bacon chive is really one of my all-time favorites. Anytime you see the word Overlord in front of anything, it's because it's my favorite.
Okay.
So it'll be like the Overlord's bacon chive bagel bomb.
Nice.
The Overlord's cake. And that's because it's my favorite.
So did you have like a background before, like in baking or anything like that?
No, I'm self-taught.
Nice.
I did everything from the house. I'm super obsessive about shit. So like I will find something that I want to make and then I'll make it 8 million times until I get it. Yeah. And I'll just tweak it and tweak it and tweak it. That's how I did it with all of my base recipes. And I just make big batches of things and throw them out to my friends and family and say, hey, give me your notes on this.
Give me real insight.
Yeah. And then I would just tweak it and go from there and make it again and again and again.
Now, even though you do that with your friends and family, how like scary is it to put something new on and, oh, I hope people like this, or I hope people are going to buy this?
I wouldn't say I'm scared of it anymore. I feel like in the beginning, for sure, like I would try and get pretty creative with things, and then, you know, people would either love it or fucking hate it. Cause I do get kind of weird sometimes, but I've noticed, and Zane, my manager, helps me a lot with this too. Cause now we have all the data, right? And I'm not a spreadsheet person by any means. I'm just like, yeah, we should totally make Hoppin' John. Everybody knows what that is. And they don't, they sure don't. And you put, you know, Hoppin' John on the menu, which is like a classic Southern dish with, you know, collard greens and bacon and rice and black eyed peas, and nobody knows what it is. And so it didn't sell well.
Was it good though?
Yeah, it was fucking good.
See, it's so hard to commit. Like we do like burgers of the week, and sometimes they're pretty obscure or like very random things. And people are like,
and it's almost like sometimes the more creative and the more fun you get with it, the less people want to even try it. Like if you just dial in on white people shit, like people just eat it up. They, you know, like, but it's vanilla.
It's fun to be creative and like get people to step out of their comfort zone and try something new, and then they're like, holy shit, this was fantastic.
Yeah.
We did a chimichurri burger.
Hell yeah.
Which was great for people who knew what chimichurri was.
Right.
People are like, we call it Jimmy's curry. It's like its nickname because people are like, what is that?
Right.
Like if we called it the pesto burger, probably would have done better.
Well, right, but it's not pesto.
It's not pesto.
People are like, oh, green sauce. You know? Yeah, sure, I'll try it. But yeah, chimichurri, like those, several of them, if it has like one ingredient that somebody hasn't heard of or doesn't like, you know, they won't even try it. But like this one we're doing next week has Lay's potato chips on it, and we'll probably sell a ton of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it also has a remoulade, which we're probably not going to call remoulade because
no, you can't call it that. Call it gravy.
Spicy mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot mayo.
Not even aioli sometimes. Yeah. People get fucked up with an aioli. Like, what is that? Just call it mayonnaise, spicy mayonnaise. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like even the names that I name things sometimes, because I like to get really creative with that fucks people up too. They're like, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to try it.
Right. They won't even investigate or just like look it up. Just, nope, I'll pass.
Yeah, our burgers of the week, we have like a tablet in there that has a photo of it and a description of like what's on it. And it's funny because you can, like, people start reading it, and if they don't know what it is, there's like
skip.
They'll go back to the menu.
The original.
But
what's got chili?
If it's like a picture, like our blazing barbecue had bacon and onion rings, they look at the picture and they see that and they're like, yeah, just ring that one up.
Yeah.
I don't care what else is on it. I'll take one of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny how people work, and it's funny how you can like track how people work too. Then, you know, you see it in the numbers. Anytime I put out like, I don't know, trying to think of something basic, not super basic, but I don't know, bacon, anything, sausage gravy. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That goes so hard. But I will say that anytime we do a collaboration, that's when I can get creative with stuff. Like we've done Mofungo with Ray Ray's Hog Pit, or, you know, just wild stuff. And people go harder for the collabs than they do if it's just you.
Do you do that often?
Collabs?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Nice. It's like my favorite thing to do.
That's like one of our new things, especially with our guests that are on here. Like we did a pizza burger.
Yeah.
And we did a breakfast burger just on like a pretzel bagel bun. It was fantastic.
Yeah. I think the collaborations are, one, they're really fun to just get out of your comfort zone. And they help everybody.
Both businesses, right?
Yeah,
right.
For sure. I've done it from the very beginning. The Cheesecake Girl was the first one that I ever did. And she's been like one of my mentors the entire time I've been in business. And I think it's a really good way to like cross promote each other and then also just do something new and fun. So yeah, let's do a burger bomb.
Ooh, burger bomb.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Mm-hmm. It's also like if people trust your brand and then you collab with us, they'll like naturally have a trust in whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, or vice versa.
You're pre-vetted. It's like,
right. Which is weird to think about. You know what I mean? Like I put my name on something and people are like, well, Annie likes it. I'm going to like it too. That's fucking weird.
No, it's like a little community. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah. It's also interesting how like I was talking to somebody this week, one of our customers, they brought up one of the burgers we did in the past, Burgers of the Week. They're like, you guys got to put this on your menu. And I was like, I think it was the black and blue. And they're like, you guys got to bring that back and just put it on the menu. And I'm like, every burger that we do, a specialty burger, there's like the core group of people that like it. Mm-hmm. And then you have the people that don't like it. But the people that like it, love it. And they're like, this should be on your menu all the time.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, we sold 10 of those.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you really liked it. We really liked it. But it ain't going on the menu. But
I used to do that a lot in the beginning. Somebody would ask me for something and I'd be like, oh yeah, I can make that. I'm going to put it on the table for that one fucking person that's going to come to the market and be like, I want a gluten-free brownie. All right, brother, come on. And then you take an extra, hour to make it. And that one person forgets to come to the market that week. And you're like, awesome.
Perfect.
Love that. I get requests for stuff all the time now. And I'm like, I wish I could go here.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't do everything.
Yeah. We try to stick to what we're good at, and also like what we like. A lot of people ask us like, where's your inspiration for the burgers of the week? Like whatever sounds good to us.
Yeah.
Whatever we like, whatever I want to eat 5 times this week, we'll make that. And then, see how the people like it. But
yeah.
So you said you do like other confectionaries other than you said brownies and.
So my menu consists of like the same 4 or 5 things that rotate monthly.
Okay.
So the only things that say constant in the shop are the original not fucking box brownie and both types of the pub grub. So other than that, everything changes. I usually have like 4 to 5 different flavors of bagel bombs, 2 to 3 flavors of biscuit bombs, brownies, which are usually like the specialty ones are iced in some way or have like a no-bake cookie on top, something like that. Then I have the fat boys, which are more of a traditional like deep dish, medium rare cookie. The skinny boys, which are sandwich cookies. And then we just recently launched cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
Yeah, they fuck.
Are they
real
big,
hard.
like giant cinnamon rolls?
They're quite large. Nothing I do is really that small. So,
perfect.
Yeah. I had one last night and I made myself sick.
In a good way though, right?
Oh, for sure. Like if it's not swimming in butter when you reheat it, I don't want it. And then I way too much of it and just put myself into a food coma.
I'm a sucker for a good cinnamon roll.
Mm-hmm. They're good.
Cream cheese icing?
It's actually brown butter cream cheese icing.
Even better.
It's like my, if I was going to be a religion, it would be to brown butter. I think I'd just make my own. For sure.
Nice.
I'm new into learning the ways of brown butter.
Dude.
Fantastic.
It's so good. I put brown butter in pretty much anything I can. It's like my blood type. I have a butter tattoo.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Brown butter tattoo?
It's not brown butter. It's like it's literally a stick of butter.
Hell yes.
And then it's got flowers and stuff around it. But I use a lot of butter and I really like butter.
How crazy is it when the price of things go up like that?
That it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I will say that maybe this is too transparent, but a lot of people see my success on social media and think that I'm just rolling in the dough. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, that is not the case. Once you, number one, get into a space where you have to pay like rent and utilities and all that stuff, and then also payroll.
And then everything breaks.
Everything fucking breaks. I think the grease trap was like the bane of my existence in the beginning. So I had to have the whole thing replaced like right after we moved in. But yeah, and then you take into account the like rising cost of every fucking thing when it comes to baked goods. Let's talk about a chocolate shortage. That's fun.
What about eggs now?
Eggs. I don't want to talk about eggs.
Okay.
$1 an egg.
It's insane. And honestly, this is slightly naive of me too, because I don't really like to look at all the individual numbers. I just look at the broadliner invoice as it comes through every week, and I'm like, that went up.
Okay.
And because Zane does all the ordering and everything, so I need to have a better grasp on the numbers for sure. I know it's outrageous, but I don't want to know.
Well, yeah, but then it may hold you back from doing something that you really want to do.
A little bit. I feel like sometimes he'll tell me like, hey, let's maybe use 2 pounds of butter in this instead of 3.
Okay, 4.
Right. Yeah, up at 1. No, but it sucks. I mean, like last week for Valentine's, we were making 18 trillion fucking fudge rounds, and I went to like 8 different stores looking for Dutch processed cocoa, and I couldn't find it because it's just a shortage and it's all hella expensive. So, but that's what I do for my people. I go to 8 Myers and look at Pokemon cards and Dutch processed cocoa.
I was going to ask, because I think on Instagram, your following has doubled since like the last 3 weeks, I think, when I messaged you to come on the podcast. And I'm assuming a lot of that's from TikTok. It seems like TikTok's kind of blowing up.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. TikTok went from 30,000 to close to 80,000 in like a month. And then I did this social experiment because the algorithms on both platforms are very different. And I'm not any sort of big like tech nerd. I don't know how any of it works. I think I just get lucky, to be honest with you, or maybe it's just my content. I don't know. But the videos I had that went like super viral on TikTok, I was just like, fuck it, let's put it on Instagram, just see what happens. And they did the same thing. So I guess it's a little different, but the same at the same time. So I have one right now that is over 2 million views, I think. And that is what's going around like crazy. So I've gone from 13,000 followers on Instagram to almost 40,000 in like the past couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
It's insane. And it's like, I think that's why my weekends have just been, I mean, you were there on Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. I don't know what time of the day you came in, but like, it doesn't stop, which is good. Like, I'm not complaining by any means, but like it's picked up a lot in the past couple of weeks because of it.
How many people do you have work with you?
I have a staff of 13.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And it's a 7 days a week production.
What did you start with when you first opened?
When I opened in July?
Yeah.
I think I was at like 8, 9, maybe. Okay. And it may have been like 10. I think right after grand opening, it was a shitstorm of a day. And like we sold literally every scrap of food in the building. And I didn't have any product really for like my second day in business. I was like, fuck. So we opened late the next day and just tried to have as much shit as we could. And then that's when I was like, I think I should probably hire more people.
That's a good feeling though, right?
It was a really good feeling. But I think what happens in moments like that is you panic and you're like, oh, I need to like find people. And then you don't really take your time like you normally would to hire. And you get some bad eggs along the way. And I think it's pretty obvious when people watch my Instagram stories or anything. Like, my team is really close and we have a family, but not a family, like not in a toxic way. We're just like really love each other and work really fucking hard, and they believe in me and I believe in them. And going into the chaos that ensued after grand opening, I just went too fast, and I had 2 or 3 that it
shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even make it to like their first paycheck. And I was like, you got to go, brother, sign your NDA and get out. Yeah. It sucks, but you got to do it.
Well, yeah, but if you didn't have those bad eggs, you wouldn't be able to appreciate the good ones as much as you do.
Yeah. And I have a kick-ass team.
Hell yes.
They're awesome. Shout out to the Creep Crew.
Creep Crew.
The Creep Crew.
Nice.
Yeah. What do we call our crew? We got to work on that.
You should have a nickname and make t-shirts.
Yeah. The Lux Boys.
No.
You could just be the buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What were some of like the toughest challenges that you had other than product shortages or inflation or anything like that, like directly in the shop?
I would say adjusting to like scales and pars. I feel like we went from going to the farmer's market every week and then our wholesale accounts, and then up to being open for full service 4 days a week, which is not enough for some people. Like I'm sure other people would wish I was open more days, but I just can't do it. It's been number one, figuring out what numbers we need to make and when. Like Thursday's obviously going to be slower than Saturday. And then procedures. Like I'd never had a recipe like printed out and laminated until we moved into the new space. And I was like, yeah, we should probably write this shit down. It was like on notes on my phone. And I just send it to whoever's making whatever they are making. And before, when we worked out of Sunny Street, like we were all in the same place at the same time every night. So we always worked from like 3:00 in the afternoon until we were done, and we were all there together. So it was really hard adjusting to the communication aspect of that as well, because I've got like a day shift and an evening shift now. And so, yeah, I feel like overall communication was a big one for sure. And then making sure you have like literally any type of procedure in place.
Right. What about lists? Do you use a lot of lists?
We use a lot of lists. So Zane is the logistics brain to my creative brain. And he was my first employee. He's been there almost 3 years now. And he manages all of the itineraries for the week, the ordering, like checking that everything is in stock that we need, packaging, that kind of stuff. And he goes through on Mondays and makes like a weekly to-do list. So it's all in a spreadsheet. They get to sit down when they get into the work, like their first shift of the week, and check like, what am I doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And it's all mapped out for them. So they'll go and write it on the whiteboard, and then you pick a task and you cross it off the list.
Was there any, like, when you started the brick and mortar or kind of got into it all, was there anything that you saw going differently, or like big pivot points where you're like, this is what I have in my head, but it's obviously not going to work in real life? And
that happens to me all the fucking time.
Daily.
Yeah, like all the time. And it was really hard for me. It still is hard for me, but I think I'm getting better at it. Number one, I lean on my team a lot more when it comes to menus and stuff. Like, I really love that part of it. I really like to get creative and, find collaborations and all that stuff to do. But there gets to a certain point where you're like, I don't have any fucking ideas right now, man. And the menu changes every 4 weeks. So you've got to find something to do. Right. Yeah. And 12 months, you do the math. I'm not good at math, but I lean on them a lot more when it comes to that stuff now. Like if we're doing theme weeks or something like that, I'll say, hey guys, what do you think about, XYZ? We got to do a theme week for this band that's coming into town. Listen to their songs and tell me your ideas. And I've realized the importance behind that empowers them a lot more, like to know that they have a voice.
Right, they're involved. You're keeping them in the mix. They're
important. They're so fucking important, and their opinion matters. And I think that for a long time, I was kind of like, oh, well, this is the Annie show, but it's not.
Well, right. But I mean, it still is, but you built this team yourself. So they are you and you are them.
Yeah,
so
I guess. They're just shadow Annies, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I struggle with letting go a lot. And actually I just had to put in like a interview thing, survey, whatever, for something that I was trying to do. And it was like, what would your friends say are your best and worst qualities? And, all of my best friends that I asked, they're like, oh, well, you know, you're super caring. You would give anybody the shirt off your back and lay down in the middle of the road for them. Super loyal. But as far as negative traits go, I am such a perfectionist that I let it get in my way. So yeah, I like try, I have something that I want to make and I know how I want it to look. And then if it doesn't look the way that I want, I'll go in and change it. So that back to procedure, I've realized like if I want it to look a certain way, I need to draw a picture. I need to make sure I'm the first one to do something so that they can replicate what I want to do. So yeah, sometimes my perfectionism gets in my own way for sure.
Got anything, Cole?
Yeah. What's up with you? You're quiet,
real
man.
quiet.
A little bit.
Half hour in.
25 minutes.
You don't have a question?
You
guys are best,
I got a question. I got
Okay.
a question.
All right.
Incarceration.
Yeah.
You setting up a booth there?
I don't know.
You're
I
trying,
applied.
You're trying to, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I applied to Sonic Temple and Incarceration. I'm working with Incarceration because I like shot my shot and sent him an email and I was like, hey guys, what's up? I'm the Metal Bakery.
It fits.
Right. I mean, it's on brand. That's another thing too that I think has really hopped off on social media too, is like my brand is very much not just about baking. So I lean in on the music a lot, and I've realized that if I lean in on it a little bit more, it draws in a lot more people because, you know, not a lot of people are listening to Opeth and their bakeries. I don't know. But yeah, so they said, for sure, we'll work with you. And I did like a little, you know, discount day for Incarceration a couple of weeks ago. And then we're going to be doing a giveaway with them. But I have to apply just like every other vendor. So I haven't heard back. We'll see.
I haven't been yet. I've only been in Columbus August will be 3 years. So I haven't been yet, but I'm hoping to go this year.
Yeah, me too. I haven't been either.
Is that the thing in Mansfield?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tattoo and music festival.
Tattoo and
At a
metal
haunted prison.
in a prison.
In a prison. Yeah, it's dope.
Sheesh.
I don't think I can handle. It's 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do 3 days.
I
One day.
Yeah, tops.
Well, just to go experience it, it's always fun.
Yeah.
I've never been to anything like, well.
3 days of metal
is
is a little bit much for me in my 30s.
It's a lot. I feel like I would like be in my tent and then have a partner there to where I'm like, oh, well, Falling in Reverse is playing. I got to go. You take over and then go back. You know what I mean? Just like go to stages when I want to go see something.
Yeah. I guess that would be the crappy thing about working that event.
Yeah.
It's like the food truck when you do events and you're like trying to look out the window. You're like, everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
but not me.
Yeah. Your tots are coming. Trying to watch the fireworks.
Well, we do that hoof-hearted one, and they had wrestling, and we were set up right in front of the wrestling ring. It was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Luckily, everybody ate like before and after the wrestling. So
yeah,
we got to watch most of it.
That's nice.
Set up like a big metal cage around it too. It was awesome.
Yeah. Look at the farmer's market. There's not a lot of action, so I don't miss much. But Incarceration or Sonic Temple, you better believe I'm bringing a partner.
Yeah, we did a Leonard Skinner concert in our food truck.
Oh, dope.
It would have been if anyone showed up.
Wait, were you at the thing? Was it here last year? Shut up. Beret Brays did that too.
Yeah, we were right next to him.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was something else.
I heard about that.
A waste of time.
I was home for that back in Youngstown, and you're like, dude, this is not
It was
working out.
rough.
It was crazy. We had 3 days. We just stood there and talked to the other vendors.
It was like at the old Crew Stadium, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it just wasn't advertised like at all.
Yeah, at all. They did everything right except for tell people that they were having an event.
Right. Which is like important.
Well, they're like, hey, Leonard Skinner's going to be there. And we're like, oh, it's going to sell out.
Right. Immediately.
Like my parents hadn't gone to, my mom, I think like 30 years ago, saw the original Leonard Skinner in concert. Dope. And so they came because they're like, it's Leonard Skinner. I don't think they've been to a concert like that in years.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're going. They only knew about it because I told them.
They were the only ones.
They ended up getting, we told the guy, we're like, we're going to need some free tickets. We've been sitting here in the sun for 3 days with no customers. So he hooked my parents up with some tickets to go watch. I think it was them and like 40 other people got to see Leonard Skinner in the stadium. Like, yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, I heard all about that.
Yeah, that
was a long weekend.
Yeah. But you sell your stuff at multiple other locations, right?
Yes.
Like Ray Ray's is one of them, I think.
Yeah, we're partners with Ray Ray's. So we have desserts on every food truck and the brick and mortar in Granville. We started with brownies, and then we realized that chocolate after a big meat sweats box is a little heavy. So we switched it to also having a monthly rotational dessert. And we usually send icebox pies. Sometimes we'll switch it up. But this month it's like a strawberry crunch icebox pie. So it's like strawberry whip and cookies, golden Oreos, that kind of stuff. It's cold, it's light, it's fluffy. Goes a lot better with barbecue for sure. And then several grocery stores around town, bars. At this point, I kind of forget, which is coffee shops. Crimson Cup was one of my first wholesale accounts. Global Gallery was the first one ever, and they're in Clintonville too. They're a coffee shop. But yeah, like different products go to different places.
I was just going to say, do you send them the same things that you sell in your restaurant, or is it certain things that are just specifically for them?
It's yes and no.
Okay.
So per the lovely Ohio Department of Agriculture, we can't send anything to wholesale that has meat in it. So they get vegetarian options. So if you look at my menu, there's always multiple vegetarian options of the bagel bombs and then a vegan option. So they always get 2 veggies and a vegan if they're getting bagel bombs. When it comes to sweets, I can send them the same thing that I have in the shop. Would I like to be able to switch it up? Yes, but it would be too much of a pain in the ass to have to send, 12 of one cookie to Florin, wherever. So we don't do a lot of proprietary stuff at all. It would just be if you're going to buy, 12 batches of something every week, for sure, I'll make you a proprietary cookie. But
do they pick what they want, or do you just kind of send them,
no,
hey, this is what I got for you?
They get sent the monthly menu at the beginning of every month, and then they say, I want this many of this and this and this. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you looking into the future? Are you trying to go more that route, or have you thought about like adding a second location?
No, I haven't. And I think one of the biggest things that happens when you go viral on social media is everyone and their mom in every state and every country in the world wants you to franchise. Like I've got people in London asking me to open a Bite This, or Scotland or New Zealand, what the fuck ever.
So you're doing it, right?
For sure. Yeah. Immediately. I was like, hey, we gotta go. No, I am back to my perfectionism.
Right.
Number one, I'd like to be turning a profit before I venture out into a second location. And I am more concerned about the quality of my product than the quantity. Right. So the reason why you see me selling out left and right is because I'm making as much as I possibly fucking can, but I'm not going to I'm not going to try and grow to a point where I'm going to be sacrificing the quality of my product.
Right. And it's
just not worth it to me, because as soon as I say, okay, well, I'm going to mass produce bagel bombs and send them to Walmart,
and they're turned to shit quality.
Yeah, it's not good anymore, and it's not special. And I think that's something that's really special about Bite This, is that it is unique and you can only find it in one place.
And you kind of like create your own demand.
For sure. Yeah. Like a scarcity is a good thing.
Right.
And that's been kind of my MO since day one, is like, this is only going to be here for 4 weeks and we can only make so much of it. So if you want it, come and get it. And if you don't, then fuck off, I guess. I don't know.
See you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. I don't want to grow so fast that I lose the vision
or your passion for it too.
Yeah. Like I'm already burnt the fuck out all the time. And I'm just not just one location, but my journey's been so fast, and I've just run myself into the ground to the point where my mental health struggled a lot from it. And I've had the best piece of advice I've gotten from big names that I respect a ton locally, that I have the pleasure and privilege of being able to talk to on a daily basis. Their advice to me has just been, Annie, stay as small as you can for as long as you fucking can. And I'm going to take that advice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, I mean, we get people all the time that are saying the same thing. You should put one here. You should put one there. And you guys should franchise. And we're like, you go open your own restaurant, franchise away.
You tell me how easy it is.
Yeah. As soon as you lose that span of control on your product and your employees and like what's happening in your kitchen and your restaurant, then like trying to go back and get it, and get everything back under control where your quality's back. It's like, good luck.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
You have it until it's gone. And if it's gone, it's probably not coming back.
Yep. And then, I mean, you look at these big, viral franchises and cookie places, they're shit. Most of the foodie people, influencers or whatever, they're going to Pink Box Bakery and they're like, this is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever want that. Like people know that when they come to bite this, they're getting something that truly we've put everything we fucking have into.
Yeah. I won't name names, but there's a franchise restaurant that opened recently in the Columbus area, which they have multiple locations, a big name place. And even, you look at someone like that who they've been franchised multiple times. They have tons of locations, different states, and they go and open up a new store and it's off, like out the gate, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. And you're like, if somebody that big that has all their processes dialed in, they're opening new places and they're terrible and they can't get it right.
Yeah.
You're like, why would we just jump right into that?
Why would
We're
I even try? I don't want that at all.
We'll figure it out. No problem.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, because people they don't know what happens behind the scenes. How do you get the product to where it is? And
right.
Yeah.
And they think it's just like a snap of the fingers and the food's ready for you.
Right.
No, not the case.
Just making burgers.
Yeah, they're just burgers.
Yeah, anybody can make a burger. It's fine. You can do it.
Yeah.
That's I think that's where people they think that we make it look easy online. You know what I mean? Like you see the highlight reel of everybody's small business. And that's something that I try to focus on a lot too, is like being vulnerable, letting people see the hard shit. It's not just making a burger. It's not just making a brownie. I've taken hours upon hours upon hours trying to perfect this one thing and do it the best that I possibly can. And then I added another thing and then I added another thing. So I think part of why people are drawn to my brand a little bit more sometimes is because I show the hard shit too. Like mostly I show the good shit. Don't get me wrong. And there's some times where I'm like, man, I don't want to tell anybody that I'm fucking depressed. You know what I mean?
Comes with it though.
It does. It's like back in the fall, I struggled really hard with it, and to the point where my team was noticing it. Everybody around me was. And I'm huge on mental health. With my team, it's something we focus on a lot. And we did this training and it was like noticing red flags of burnout, depression, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, I'm a walking red flag for this. Just like the therapist is like, if you have questions, you can talk to Annie. I was like, no, you can't. You cannot fucking talk to Annie about this because I need to talk to somebody about this. And that the next day I was like, I need to go to therapy. And I have done that. So
Well, it's good recognizing that before it's too late.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody around me noticed a lot sooner than I did. And my friends were like, hey, so what's up, girl? What's up, girly pop? You should probably go do something about that. So I did. But yeah, I feel like it's really easy to only show the highlights and think it's what people want to see, right? Like people don't want to see the struggles and the hard stuff, but you have to share that shit too so that people know that you're real.
Yeah. And there's a difference too of like us being able to make a really good burger that's great. But if you're trying to build a business, you have to be able to make a really good product and then train anybody off the street how to make that exact same product, you know, and also care as much as you.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's, I think, something that a lot of people don't understand. It's like, I can only make so many of these. Like the three of us can't run multiple locations with just us. We can't run our location with just us.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't be able to keep up. And so you have to build something where you can train people. You know, you have to make it perfect yourself and then be able to make your training perfect to where anybody that you bring in with whatever level of experience they have, you know, and we've have guys with zero experience and guys with years of experience in the kitchen, but none of that matters because we do everything different than anywhere you've ever worked before.
And I think you're never going to find anybody. Well, you'll find people that care a lot. And my team is a great example of that. They fucking love where they work and they care about me and they care about my brand and they bust their asses all the time. Do we have to be like, hey girl, like what's up? You kind of like, what's wrong with your brain? Whatever. We have to have our pep talks every now and then for sure. Everybody does, but they're not going home and falling asleep worrying about bite this.
Right. Or not sleeping.
Right. Or not sleeping at all.
Sleep.
Like nobody's ever going to care as much as you do about it. And that's kind of like a hard truth sometimes to swallow.
But when you push things off to them, I think it gives them more like pride and they're like, oh, she really does care about me.
Oh, yeah,
but it's
sure.
not like we do that to make us not do, you know, oh, I don't want to work today, so I'm gonna have you guys do all this. It's so we could focus on other things that we haven't been able to focus on before because there was never enough time.
Yeah. Like, unfortunately, my hands don't get to be in the kitchen quite as much anymore as they used to, or I would like them to. I'm actually trying a lot more now to get back into the kitchen because I did go through such a like dark, ominous period that I'm like, what makes me happy? Fucking baking.
Right.
Like, just get back in the kitchen, dipshit. So yeah. And I feel like, what was I going to say about, I lost it. It was something more about training and I forgot. I totally forgot.
It'll come back in like 10 minutes when we're talking about something else totally random.
For sure.
So like when you're in the shop, when you're not in the kitchen, are you like out in the front, like greeting customers and being the face of the business?
I run the front pretty much every day that we're open for service. And I feel like that surprises people a lot. I don't know.
That's like what these guys do too, but it's really cool because they get to see that these are the owners, but they're here, they're active.
Yeah.
And then when they see them on here, like on the podcast or anything, we're the same people that are greeting you in the restaurant or that we're just sitting here bullshitting on a damn podcast.
Yeah. And like for us, I care a lot about the customers that come in the door. I'm not just an employee that's just like, oh, here comes another one.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Right.
You know, I try really hard to remember as many names as I can, which is very tough.
Yes, I do the same thing.
If I can't remember the name, I at least remember their face. And sometimes I'm like, what's up, man? And they look at me and they're like, oh, first time in? Thought you've been here before. My bad. But you know, we care a lot, and like we have a lot of people, like local people that live around there that are coming weekly, you know, or a few times a week, you know, and it's awesome when your customers come in and you're the first person they see and you like start up the conversation that, you know their name, they know your name. You start up the conversation that you left a couple days ago. Yeah. You know, it's cool. And people really like that experience.
Yeah.
You know,
people like to know that you care.
Right.
Yeah.
And I care a lot to the point where if I can't remember somebody's name, I like, I do this all the time and I'll like, you know, do you guys use Square? So
we use Toast.
Okay. So
same.
We use Square and like, you know, it'll ask what's the name or whatever. And if they just enter their credit card, it'll like pull up their name for you. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like I didn't have to ask what their name was because I'm just mortified sometimes. Right? I hate it. And like when I started at the farmer's market, it was super easy for me to remember so many people's names. Before I did this and I was a stay-at-home mom, I was a barber. So you get to where it's very easy for me to remember people's names, their kids, what they do for a living, where they went on vacation. And it just gets to a certain point where you're like, I see too many people every week and I can't remember, man. But I know you love cinnamon rolls.
Right. Yeah, but even like real.
I know your order, but I don't remember
exactly.
your name.
How awesome is it like having like regulars? Isn't that the coolest thing in the world?
Oh, it's super cool. I saw your post the other day. It was with the snow or something like that, and you were or Super Bowl
on Sunday when the dude didn't come in.
Yeah, and you were like, "Where's our guy?" I totally can relate to that because I'll have people. I don't go to the farmers market quite as much anymore, but like I know that there's regulars that go there every week, and there's certain products that we send just for one or two customers. They like have to have their edge funds every week. So we send one or two to the market and we will hold them for those specific customers.
And you don't even have to like advertise that it's there. They know it's going to be there.
They know it's going to be there, and they'll get upset if we forget. To the point where Jade, the creep that runs the market most of the time, she's like on Friday evenings, she's packing for market and she's like, don't forget those fucking edge fence. I swear to God. Cause she'll hear about it. Like, but we've developed that relationship with our customers that like, they know that we give a fuck. You know what I mean? Right. If you ask me to go in the back and cut your cookie in half, I'm going to cut your cookie in half, homie. Like I care. I give a fuck. And like, sometimes I give too many fucks, and that's also part of my downfall.
Right.
We're about to start adding buttons in our POS for customers because they come in so many times and it's like it takes too long to just
customize it.
And we already know what they want.
Right.
Like we're just going to start adding the Andrew.
This is Chad's hamburger.
Yeah, shout out to Andrew. But yeah, we'll start adding the Andy button. You can just hit that every time he walks in and make everyone's life easy. But
yeah, that's cool. I feel like one thing I do every once in a while, I just did it when we hit 20,000, was the creep contest. And this would be cool for you guys to do too. Like if Andrew comes in every week and he orders the same thing, make an Andrew special for the week. And the creep contest winner gets to come into the kitchen and bake with the creep crew, and they get to make their own product, whatever they want it to be. And then it gets put on the menu and people fucking love it.
How many people do you think would eat the quad with only mustard that we sell to the same guy 4 times a week?
A lot.
Yeah. That's
pretty good.
White people shit.
We have a guy that comes in, he gets three quads, only mustard, 1 to eat in and 2 to take home, multiple times a week.
I mean, it's a vibe.
Hey, you like what the heart wants, what the heart wants.
Right.
Really. And his heart is struggling.
Yeah. He's
So man.
No, he's tried a few of our other burgers and he's like, yeah, it's good, but it ain't.
It's not as good as the quad with mustard. That's hilarious.
But it's awesome when they come in and they know what they want. Even like the guy, he always got like a patty melt or something, and he'll like, I'm never in the front. I just hear this vicariously through these guys.
You know it.
But he'll like look at the burger of the week and he'll say, "Oh, that looks really good," but
I'm gonna
stick to my guns.
Yep.
No, I get it.
We won him over with the pizza burger though.
Oh, nice. He tried it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like 15 burgers later, he was like, all right,
it.
I'll try the pizza burger.
That's even better when you have the people that won't budge and they finally do, and they're like, you were right. I'm like, I know I was fucking right, dude.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that on one of our previous podcasts where like we got to sit him down and be like, what will you eat? What do you want?
Right.
What do you want? We'll make it.
Right.
Tell us what you would try that's not a patty melt. Nothing against a patty melt, but like.
Everybody loves the patty melt. I will tell you a secret though. I'm not a huge hamburger person or hot dogs.
I was not a hamburger person at all, and I'm now in the cult.
Yeah. Like I fuck with a smash burger all day long. Don't get me wrong. But there's something about, I don't like do any sort of big patty at all. I will only eat a smash burger. And that's only because I got my husband a flat top for Christmas like a couple years ago. And so we perfected the smash burger, right? My husband's a really big cook too. And I'll eat a smash burger. So I'm going to tell you what the perfect Annie smash burger would be. You can decide if you want to make it one day.
All right.
Can I tell you?
Yeah. Send it.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Well, that wraps up our podcast.
Okay. So there's this burger place in my hometown called the Tea Room. And they make a cheesy Western. And it is patty, onion, like a yellow relish, fried egg, American cheese.
How are the onions done? Are they just like grilled onions?
No, they're raw.
Raw onions.
Yeah.
White, yellow, red.
White.
Okay.
Single patty? That's not enough patties.
You can do 2.
What kind of cheese? American?
American. Yeah.
White or
It's-
yellow?
Yellow. Yeah. It's so good.
What's yellow relish?
I'll send you a recipe. It's like a sweet relish.
I was going to say sweeter
And you
dill.
put some Texas Pete on that shit.
Ooh.
This is what like the high schooler, look, when I was in high school and my high school was like one of the top high schools in the nation for teenage alcohol abuse.
Nice.
Which isn't a brag by any means, but I'm just saying it wasn't me.
All right.
But it was just like the place that everybody went at 2 a.m. to get their cheesy Westerns. Like it's just hangover food. And you'd get a bowl of chili. You just get a bowl and a cheesy Western. That's what you got. And I like crave a cheesy Western when I go home. And it used to be this dude, like before you couldn't smoke in restaurants anymore, this dude was just on the fucking grill with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. That's when you know it's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? And he's just
shirtless.
Yeah. And there's a waitress there. Her name's Miss Debbie. And everybody in my whole hometown knows who the fuck Miss Debbie is. She's an icon. She's a legend. And it's just it's just nostalgia. And if you make a cheesy Western, the people will come.
I think we could probably do it.
Oh yeah. I'll get you a yellow relish.
Just a fry, like a completely fried egg.
Yeah.
No runny yolk or anything.
I mean, you could get gourmet with it and make it a runny yolk. Hell yeah.
It's probably easier not to do the runny yolk.
Yeah. Just fry it hard.
Fry hard, Adam.
We got eggs. The thing is, when we buy eggs, we buy like 15 dozen and we use like 2. So Jared eats like eight egg omelets in the mornings.
Why are you buying that many eggs? Especially in this economy?
We're Costco people, Sam's Club, you know, it's like,
We bring the boom.
they come in 15 dozen.
Well, I'll take your eggs if you don't eat them.
Yeah.
They're probably almost gone now.
Yeah. I've been putting a dent on that 15 dozen. Yeah.
Do you know there's an awkward silence every 7 minutes?
Sheesh.
That was it right there. That's what it was.
I'll fact check that when I rewatch this.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Do you have anything coming up, like big announcements or anything? Or like new products that you're going to roll out?
Well, the biscuit bomb was kind of like the big ticket. And I can't keep them in stock. And I feel like we've gotten them pretty down pat for the most part. So I think we're going to just keep rolling with that and perfect it even more in the next couple of months. And we can't not have them on the menu anymore. So it's a staple at this point.
So what is it? It's just like a stuffed biscuit?
Yeah. It's a scratch made buttermilk biscuit and everything's on the inside.
And what are the bagel ones?
The same thing, but a bagel. Which, I mean, if you ask Karis, it's not a real fucking bagel, but you know what I mean.
Right.
It is a bagel. It's just not traditional because it doesn't have a hole in it.
Right.
It's a bagel dough. Anyway, love you, Karis.
He does know a thing or two about bagels.
He knows a little bit, I guess. No, but it's we have a mother dough. It's
Right.
a yeast-based dough, and then it's not a real bagel because we don't boil it.
Okay.
It's egg washed and it's put into the oven. But yeah, everything's on the
gets brown.
inside. Yeah, and there's no hole.
I got to come by and try one. What time do you guys open in the morning?
We open at 10 o'clock on Thursday, Friday, 9 o'clock on Saturday, Sunday. Trying to get it open earlier Thursday, Friday, because I know the people want that. We're working on it. But
Do you guys do DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of that stuff?
No, God, that sounds like a nightmare.
You don't have to. Don't do it.
I'm not going to. No, I won't.
Well, at least your business is probably findable though. It's tough for people to find us. So
Yeah.
the drivers will cancel the order saying
Yeah.
that, oh, this place isn't a real business. Well, we are.
Well, we are.
Or it's snowing and they don't want to walk up to the
Right.
restaurant. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I feel like we launched the cinnamon rolls. I have a pretty big collab for March lined up. I've got a lot of collaborations lined up for the year that I'm really excited about,
Nice.
but I can't tell you anything about. That's top secret.
Perfect.
We're
We're gonna have to get on that collab list.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. The one for March we have done before. And I feel like it's what the people want.
That's what we say all the time. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. If enough people ask me, I'll do it. So, and these are like some of my best buddies, so I'll do it all the fucking time.
Right. And they're not the only ones that are thinking that way.
Probably
There's
not.
someone who put that idea in your head or whatnot.
What? Customers?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like
Yeah.
you, like your close friends, they may have this idea, but other people are thinking, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to try that too.
For sure. I feel like, I don't know, I get real close with people that I work with too, because I like to develop relationships. I don't like to feel like I'm using people in any capacity. But yeah, a lot of the people that I work with have become my best friends, or then my best friends like tell me, oh, you should work with so-and-so. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll shoot my shot. I mean, that's how I got into cahoots with Ray Ray's. You know, somebody was like, you should just go see if they want, you know, whatever. And it started with the collaboration. And then I was like, how do you guys feel about brownies? And then, you know, the rest is history.
Do you do like specialty brownies? Like, or are they just like a regular fudge brownie?
Well, it's not just a regular brownie, brother.
Well, what? Okay.
No, our original brownie is like super rich and fudgy, and it's topped with Maldon sea salt.
Okay.
And that's on the menu all the time. And then the specialty brownie, but Ray Ray's doesn't have brownies anymore. If that's what you're asking.
Okay. No, I was just curious.
And then, so like the specialty brownie for this month is a pistachio blackberry brownie. So it's got scratch made pistachio butter, blackberry jam, stabilized whipped cream, and then fresh blackberry on top.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a friend, she lives in New Jersey and she's in like the cannabis market.
Yeah.
She does a infused peanut butter and jelly brownie.
Oh, hell yeah. I feel like once, if I can take the time to get licensed to do that shit all day,
Oh yeah.
like my people would be 100% into that. And like there's a dispensary right across the street. So, but like Pub Grub, the main ingredient is butter.
What is Pub Grub?
Pub Grub is our like Chex Mix.
Okay.
So it's snack mix. It comes in original or Hellfire Club, which we make with Black Cap hot sauce. Have you guys talked to Jack and Nikki yet?
No.
Yeah, you should.
I've seen Black Cap at like the German Village Makers Market and stuff before.
They're the shit. You should talk to Jack and Nikki. They rock. But we use Black Cap. It's a fermented hot sauce. And it's not super spicy. It's like got a really actual good flavor to it. Not like burn your fucking face off. But yeah, we love them to death. They're great. They're at Bear's Bagels too.
Nice.
That's where I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know I've seen it somewhere, but yeah.
It's actually really funny once you like are in the club, the small business club of Columbus. Everybody's just like with everybody.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of been cool doing this podcast because we keep bringing different people on, and it's literally such a small group of people, and everyone's like,
you're like, well,
oh yeah, me and him go way back, and everybody knows everybody, and
yeah,
it's
cool. It's really, I feel I was fortunate enough to kind of like get in with, you know, great businesses from the get that really helped me along the way, and then like Karis and Lowe, their journey is 6 months. I think they started Bear's Bagels like 6 months after I started Bite This. So we're like pretty much same timeline. And like I was in this process when they were like in the middle of this process when they were starting it. So we would like lean on each other a whole lot for stuff. And not so much anymore because everybody's fucking so busy
right?
Yeah.
that I barely get to see anybody anymore, which sucks. But
That's what it's like. It's cool when we like had someone on and then they come in the restaurant and they're in the restaurant once a week.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have, well, both Cole and I are new to Columbus in the last few years, like I said. And so I have a running list of like places I got to try.
Yeah.
Because I have like people coming on the podcast and I'm like, I got to at least go to their shop and, you know, see what it's about.
Yeah. You
But,
secret shopped me the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck you didn't
come
tell
in
me
with
you
my
were
ski
there?
mask on. What is this place? But now I have a running list of all these places I want to try, but it's either I'm here or at the restaurant all the time, you know. And
it's tough. And I haven't been to Riley's yet. And I've kind of been following along with her journey the entire time. She's my buddy. And I'm like, I'm so fucking sorry, dude. Like, I'm at the shop. And especially when you're doing the same thing, like our hours are pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah. The nice thing is all the other shops get it though.
Yes.
They're like, well, I'd come to yours, but I'm at mine. So
right. Yeah. And it's just like the only people I see every week are like the Warriors boys and Ray Rays because I'm there every week.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else, like my friends, they know to come find me at the shop.
Right.
And they just come hang out. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. You know, they get it though. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, when we first started, one of the other businesses near us that they opened, I think about a year before us, but one of the owners there came in, he told us like, 'cause we were at that time working 80 plus hours a week, all three of us, and basically doing everything. But for us, we had to do everything to understand everything because it's our first restaurant. We have no idea what we're doing. So it's like you kind of have to do everything to understand it all in order to fill in the gaps and hire people where you need them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was telling us from the beginning, he's been in the industry for a long time, but he's like, you're going to burn out really quickly. So figure out how you can get your guys' hours down and, you know, without killing yourself. And so we did that. I mean, we're still over 40 hours a week in the restaurant, but we've cut our hours almost in half now.
Right.
You know, for us to be there.
And now we're open 6 days a week versus 5. So expanding hours, but lowering hours and keeping our mental health and focus
which is important.
You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's been, you know, the biggest thing for me moving from the commercial kitchen to brick and mortar is I actually get to see my family, and they didn't see me for at least 2 years. Like I saw my son for 30 minutes a day. I would get up, get him to school. He has to be at school at 7:30. I'd get him to school. My husband would drop him off and then he'd go to work. And then I would be at the kitchen until sometimes 1, 2 a.m. So 30 minutes a day was what I got for 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's been the biggest thing for me is like, I get some time with my family back, which is, it was the whole reason why I was like, fuck it. Let's roll. Cause I couldn't have done it for much longer the way that I was doing it. My family suffered a lot. So I know they're grateful that I'm around a lot more. It's still like a lot. Like I might be home, but I'm on the computer or whatever. But I'm
working remote.
Right. I'm physically in the building, which is a lot different than what I could say for the first 2 years. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So what did you were you in like a commissary kitchen before?
I worked out of Sunny Street Cafe in Upper Arlington. Okay. So they're a breakfast restaurant. I actually got with them through the Cheesecake Girl. She started out of there too. So she knows the owners. They're, you know, grew up with the owners' kids and everything. And she was like, I moved out of there. I know they were looking for somebody to kind of take over, you know.
Where they just have like extra kitchen space?
They didn't have extra kitchen space, but because it was a breakfast restaurant, they shut down at like 3:00.
Oh, nice.
So that's why I would go in at 3. I could have been there during the day, but especially once I started growing, it was just too much for me to have my team there and be there with a whole staff of people. Right. So we would work from 3:00 until the work was done for the day. And sometimes that was 10:00. Sometimes it was 2:00. So yeah, it was a long couple years, but it was worth it. I'm grateful that I put in the hours to get where I am today, but it was a lot.
Yeah. It's a 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
For sure. There was a lot of weeks at the beginning where I'm like, okay, well, it was just me for the first 6 to 8 months. And I would end up being at the farmer's market for like 3 weeks in a row. And then once a month I'd have to cancel because I was just
too
dead.
Much. Right.
Yeah, I was completely burnt out. So, and the scariest fucking thing ever is hiring your first employee. So I probably waited too long to do it. But thankfully I found Zane and he is a godsend. He's the best.
Yeah, having good help
it's crucial.
Very helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I remember
it makes a difference.
Was going to say when we were talking about the employee situation is like sometimes it's almost better to find the people that haven't done what you're trying to get them to do a day in their lives.
Well, 'cause you can mold them and mend them, and
Absolutely.
they have no bad habits yet.
Yeah. I never say you have to have years of baking experience to work here, ever. If you have made one shit ass cookie in your life, I can teach you how to make a good cookie.
Well, right, but if they have been a baker for this long, they're gonna you're doing stuff different than
Yeah, they
everywhere
have
else.
habits
So
that
it
you
doesn't-
have to break, and
It's
that's
a lot
hard.
harder to untrain 20 years of
Absolutely.
shit ass cookies.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's easier to mold people, and not in like a grooming weird fucking kind of way,
Oh,
but
no,
like
no.
yeah, you
show them your way.
yeah.
The
People
right way.
get stuck in, like, they could have been at, such and such bakery and they did this a certain way. And then they come to you and they're like, well, I already know how to do this.
No.
But you don't know how to do it the way that I do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, people think there's just like this finite list of the way you have to do things. And
No.
it's not. Like, it's cooking. You could alter anything you want.
Yeah. I kind of break the mold a lot. Or I guess I don't really try to. It's just the way that my brain works. And most of the time, somebody put out an article a couple weeks ago that was like, she's a genius. You want to know a secret? Is that I'm definitely not that. It's that I fuck shit up and then it works in some capacity. And then I just like roll with it. I'm like, wow, I really fucked up this shortbread, but it's delicious. Let's put it in a cookie.
Yeah. Make it work.
Yeah. It's all just like Bob Ross, happy little accidents.
I meant to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And then I just play it off like I'm cool, but I'm not at all.
I feel like happy little accidents is what the quote we should end this podcast on.
There you go.
I mean,
Title of the episode.
Happy little accidents.
here for
And
it.
scene.
And scene. Final cheers, guys. Thanks for coming on, Annie.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank you.
me.
Thanks, Andy.
Oh, shit. I'm not good at that.
Got to cue the outro music. Smash you later.